Alright, so let's address, the big elephant in the room that's going to happen whenever I post this. This is my opinion. You know, everyone has one of those. They're all different. But let's talk about the year 5 anniversary. Oh boy. We got the good old Vegito that came out, and with him we have the Gogeta, which I think they're both trending right now. Alright, and right out of the gate, we have an issue, right? They're transforming units. And what that means is, for the first however long it takes for them to transform, they're not that great. And where this really becomes apparent is all the places you want to take them, right? Like, you want to take them to, I don't remember what the name of it is, but the MUI Goku event. And you take them there, and they eat a super at the beginning, and they eat like 300,000 damage before they transform. And I don't know why, but their supers stack attack. They don't need that. They need defense. They don't tank hits well at all. Neither one of them do. Here, let's get them both up on the screen at the same time. Scream. Oh yeah, we got the twitched curse. I streamed, and now I can't talk. Hold on. If I slow down a little bit, I might have better luck. But both of the base forms, right? They just stack attack. That's all their supers do. And once they transform, you would think they'd start stacking defense. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. They'd start stacking defense, right? Once they transform. And they sort of do in their passive. Every time they super, they get an extra 7%. Well, every time they attack. In the first or second slot, they'll get an extra 7% attack and defense. So they sort of stack defense, but it's not good enough. Maybe if you had them rainbowed, it would. I don't know. I only have 2 dupes, so maybe my, opinion of them is a little skewed. But in my experience, even when they get their full passive, their defense only caps out at like 100k. That's not good enough. It's not nearly good enough. Especially for this guy, because, you take him up against MUI, and MUI is int. Okay, he takes double damage. I remember I tried to do this with SBR. I took this one. I don't have the Gogeta. I took this one to, was it Patara? No, it was Time Travelers. I took him to Time Travelers. The last stage has Strength, Goku Black, in base form, with Zamas with him. And it was the first turn, so he hadn't built up his passive at all, and he was in base state. And he got supered for 350,000 health. That's not something I want to see happen to an LR after I pop a Whis. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I feel like defense is what these guys really needed. You would think with them being, these are hype units, right? They're the LRs. They're the fusions. They're like the most hyped characters in Dragon Ball, arguably. You would think they'd be busted. And yet we like go back and I'm probably not gonna find him, but the Fizz Vegito Blue, the UR that just got the Dokkan, well, not just got it, but has it. He performs better. Air quotes on that, right? He performs better because he doesn't have to build up. So, like, he's good everywhere. And then he doesn't take damage on normal attacks, which is the majority of attacks you have to take. And yeah, he takes a lot of damage on super, but, who doesn't nowadays? And here's the thing that's going to get me a whole bunch of trouble. I can't find him. I passed him up anyway. If I can find that. So for me, this guy's rainbowed, right? But he's super old, so I think a lot of people have him rainbowed at this point. He only gets 40%. But the thing is, he's got a 40% reduction on normal attacks. 40% reduced before, their stats come into play is a huge deal. It's a huge, huge deal. So he, tanks better than the LR. that just came out, and this guy's super duper old. His original release date is, well, if you go by JP, it's 2016, so he's like 4 years old. On global, it's 3 years, but you know, you get the point. And we go back to what just came out on JP, because everyone's going to bring this up. These guys have like the same issue. They're not good defensively. I don't know if this is going to be a thing that they're just going to go and do now. You're not going to have good defense for LRs. I really hope not. But I think they got a little spooked from this guy. Because he kind of raises defense infinitely, and in the MUI Goku event, he takes 0 damage. He'll get supered for like 58. And I don't think they really cared for that. Also, he stacks up to 170% without transforming. So, you know, kind of like, what is this, 70% and then 77 and 77, that's 154 plus the 2 additional attacks that he can get, because he'll launch a super attack in the first slot for no matter what. Then he can get another super, so that'd be 3. If he got lucky with the dupe system. So you can say he'd do more damage, but if he gets hit once, you're done. I don't know why they made these one-turn buffs. I really don't. They didn't need to do that. I understand that the transformation's like the easiest thing in the world to get, so they kind of wanted to like balance it out. But taking a hit for a lot of damage is kind of not okay. Not when they keep coming out with these more and more difficult events, and now you have to worry about where you put these guys. And then you can put them in the 3rd slot, right? So they have a high chance of evading attacks. But if they eat a hit, it's not going to be pretty. They got this nice active, right? But I don't know. When you're facing somebody whose HP is 50% or less nowadays, they're probably going to die the next turn. And I mean, you get to see it a lot, it's cool, but what does it really do, though? Because every time I see this guy and I like have the active, and it's like, oh yeah, I can use the active, and I look up and the enemy's health is red, and I'm like, but should I though? It feels like a waste to use it, but if I don't like get another chance. The enemies just die. So then the only place you could use this would be like the really difficult events, and you can't even use it on SBR because it only works when there's only one enemy. So you'd have to like, SBR is like all duos almost. Duos or more. Sometimes there's a single, but you'd have to like kill one of the enemies, then get the other one to 50% less, 50% or less after the 4th turn, because this guy has to be transformed to use his active. I don't know. It just feels like they're lackluster for what they are. Don't get me wrong, they're great units. I probably should have prefaced by saying that, but I don't know. It feels like they're just outshined by the other LRs when they really shouldn't be, you know? It's an anniversary unit. But it is what it is. I've said my piece. I'm probably going to get crucified, so wish me luck, everyone. The internet's a rough place. Until next time, everyone, take care.